High indoor humidity levels makes for a not so comfortable environment to live in. You might be asking, what is causing my high indoor humidity? And how do I fix it? In this video, we're going to be covering what could be causing your high humidity, some best practices on how to fix it, along with how to attain better humidity management for folks that like it really low. Hi, this is Kenneth with Atlas AC, and at any point during this video, if you find it to be helpful, please hit the like button. That would really help me out with the YouTube algorithms. We also have free buyer's guides and price lists on our website that you might want to check out next. Let's start off with what are acceptable home humidity levels when it comes to HVAC. The sweet spot is going to come in between 40 and 60% humidity levels. In this zone, it's considered good home comfort, along with a healthy living environment. Now, where you're going to end up landing in the humidity sweet spot is largely going to be determined where you live. If you live in West Texas, the humidity levels are probably going to be in the 40s. However, if you live in the Texas Triangle, which is our service area, homes are generally going to end up being in the mid-50s, especially in the summertime. However, this year, starting in the spring, customers would read their humidity levels off their thermostats and find that their humidity levels were coming in the mid-60s. And some were shocked to find that it was coming in the 70, 80, and even 90% range. Because I can understand a house getting in the 60% range at times, not 70, 80, 90%, because that's a serious problem. For a lot of these folks having this problem, not necessarily everyone, we found that the thermostat was reading the humidity wrong, and these were largely smart thermostats. And when it did an update, it changed how it was measuring humidity. So your thermostat did an update overnight. You have historically maintained 55% humidity in your house. Now all of a sudden it's showing that you're maintaining 65% humidity, and that change happened after an update. And bam, overnight your house went up 10% in humidity. Then you get a high humidity alert on your phone. Now you're like, I have a problem, I should look into this. What's weird about it is it seems like the temperature readings are just fine. It's only really affecting the humidity. Now, if your thermostat is reading high humidity levels but the house feels normal to you, it could be this exact issue. You can also get one of these super cheap temperature and humidity readers for your home, just to have a second reference point. Because if they match and you have high humidity, alright, now we get a problem. But if the cheap sensor is a lot lower, then we probably got a buggy thermostat, and we might need to wait for the next update to work itself out. Another common problem that we ran into quite a bit was with folks who had humidity in their house in the low to mid-60s. In all the years prior living in that house, the humidity maintained in the mid-50s, and this was legitimately happening. We were getting calls from folks that we replaced their HVAC system for them years ago, and now all of a sudden their humidity levels are starting to come up. Along with customers that we just did installs for, we were also getting calls from folks that we've never done a change out for, simply just maintain their equipment. We even had people calling in that we've never serviced before with this issue. So there's something going on here. We quickly learned that it had nothing to do with the HVAC equipment or its operations. The best I can tell, it has to do with this super El Nino thingy that we're in. You see, here in Texas, whenever we get a lot of rain, it's usually in a short period of time. Then everything will dry out, and then we might get some more. It ends up being spread out. But this year it really hasn't been. It's been pretty constant. It recently let up some, but now rains back into the forecast. This keeps everything saturated for long periods of time, along with keeping the outdoor humidity levels high. And then whenever you have a moderately sealed house, kind of like mine, which you can see here where my attic ladder is, it can allow unconditioned air come into the house. And I'm sure there's a couple other spots like this allowing air into my house. This can drive up humidity levels, especially with how long everything's been wet for. One way to fix this is to do a blower door test. This will help you identify where air is coming into your house. Then you can seal those spots, helping to fix the problem. Now, one of the anecdotal reasons why I think a lot of this is coming from this super El Nino is simply due to the sheer number of drain lines that we have had to go unclog this year. We have unclogged more drain lines this year than we have the last 5 years. And the reason for this is our air conditioning systems are pulling a lot of moisture out of the air. An air conditioning system can pull a gallon of water out of the air per hour of runtime, depending on how much indoor humidity you have. And that is a lot of water. And that water has to go somewhere, which is the condensation drain line. And the water that is running down the drain line is in a dark, moist environment, making it easy for algae to grow, leading to more clogged drain lines. Or if the primary condensation line is terminating into a bathroom sink, and the plumbing behind it is not so great, it can compound that problem, backing up the condensation line, triggering the safety switch, and turning off your unit, which is also very common. So it's not the fact that our air conditioners are not doing their job. They're actually doing a bang-up job dehumidifying. I just think we're in some kind of anomaly here. Because if you think about it, how many more times have you had to mow your yard this year over previous years? The next thing I want to cover is something that is largely overlooked and not understood at all by most people, and that is thermostat settings. The way that you run your AC system is going to dramatically impact how humid your house is going to be. For instance, if during the day I turn my thermostat up to, let's say, 77, 78 degrees, and when I get home I set it back to 72 degrees, this is going to increase the humidity in your house. And I've seen it where when folks get home after work, that humidity levels can rise as high as 70%. And by the time that the house cools back off, it's able to maintain in the low 60s. And the simple reason behind this is if your AC system is not running, it's not dehumidifying. So what happens, it doesn't dehumidify in the most important part of the day, driving up the overall humidity in the house. If lower humidity is important to you, you're going to want to make sure that your system runs throughout the day. That being said, you also don't want to overcool your house. Once you start running your system under 70 degrees, it starts to have a harder time dehumidifying. The sweet spot's really going to be maintaining your temperatures in between the mid to low 70s. Once you start running it below 70 degrees, the system just struggles to dehumidify. And the lower that you go in the 60s, the more humidity your house is going to have. I want to pause just for a second and ask for a quick favor. If you ever find yourself in our service area here in Texas, and you end up needing to replace your AC and heating system, or just have it serviced, that you would give us an opportunity to earn your business. And if you're not in our service area, you can still help too by liking, subscribing, and leaving a quick comment. With that out of the way, let's get back to the video. Now let's say you have an airtight house, like a spray foam home, and your humidity levels have come up and you're trying to figure out what to do. Most of the time, these houses have a fresh air intake, where it's pulling fresh air from the outside, putting it directly into your central AC system. And in our situation, it is constantly pulling in humid air. And if it's bringing in too much, it can drive up your humidity levels. You can reduce down the amount of time that the fresh air damper is on, potentially reducing this problem. And another common problem with fully sealed homes is whenever the attic space is not conditioned. You see, whenever your whole house has an airtight envelope, and the attic space is not being conditioned, it can accumulate some humidity. This will eventually make its way down to the rest of the house. Now, you don't have to condition the attic space like you do the rest of the house. All it needs is a little bit. Most of the time, only 75 CFM of supply and return, or a 6-inch supply and return duct. And if you have a bigger house, that would be per system. And that should help manage the humidity up there, reducing the humidity in the house. And if all that doesn't work, you probably need a dehumidifier. Now, if you were to ask me, is it possible to run my house at or below 50% humidity? Technically speaking, yes. But you really need everything to align to pull that off. Because we're really trying to pull off something that most homes are not designed for in this area. One of my first questions is going to be, how efficient is your house? Is it well sealed with good windows and doors? Or was it built in the 1970s with the original doors and windows? If that's the case, not much we can do there. The more efficient the house, the easier it is to control humidity. Then from there, how well has your HVAC system been maintained? Are the refrigerant levels good? Are the coils clean? Is the system operating optimally? If it's been neglected, we need to stop right there and get the system back up to factory spec. From there, is the ductwork sized correctly? If it's undersized, we're not going to be able to control humidity all that well, because it's going to trap air in the cabinet and hold on to moisture, which will keep humidity levels higher. Same thing goes for dirty filters. You want to make sure that they're being changed out routinely. Then, is the HVAC equipment sized correctly for your house? If it's oversized, it's going to short cycle and not be able to control humidity that well. Most folks think that bigger is always better. However, when it comes to air conditioning, that is simply not true. You want your HVAC system sized correctly for your home. That way it runs long enough to dehumidify. Now, if I use my house as an example of if I was trying to get my humidity levels at or below 50%, I am running a variable speed HVAC system, which is going to help with humidity. I know that the system is running optimal, the ductwork is sized correctly, and so on. My house was built in 2007, so it's not a new house or an old house. I'd really need to do a blower door test to see where air is seeping into the house. We would find other places that need to be sealed, like light fixtures or wall outlets. Once I get my house properly sealed, that's going to help drive down the humidity level some, but it still will not accomplish 50% or under. The only way for my house to accomplish that is by going one step further and adding a dehumidifier. A whole home dehumidifier then should allow me to manage humidity levels pretty close to that 50% number for the bulk of the year. There will still be some days that it will creep higher than that, but the majority of the year I should be covered. That being said, I do want to emphasize that humidity management is not like temperature control, where I can set the thermostat at 72 degrees and my house stays at 72 degrees. When it comes to humidity, it's going to fluctuate some throughout the day and year. I look at it more like I'm managing humidity, not completely controlling it. And if the humidity gets a little higher than what I want, I know it's only going to be for a short period of time. So it's always best not to get fixated on a number, kind of like we're able to with temperature. I look at humidity a little bit more like a range that I'm trying to keep it within. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, have a good one.